This is Townsquare Sunday. It's no secret homelessness and substance abuse are two problems that continue to plague the city of New Bedford. There are many organizations in our area that attempt to do something about both of those issues. One of them is the House of Hope. That's located at 848 Mount Pleasant Street in New Bedford. You may have driven by there numerous times and not known exactly what that's all about. But the House of Hope is a program run by Reverend Robert Hughes, who is currently away. So in the studio with me are two folks who are part of the House of Hope, and Donald and Trish. Welcome to you both.
Thank you so much.
Donald, so let's start with you. How did you get involved with the House of Hope?
Just happened that my life, I've been self-employed for over 30 years. I'm doing my thing and supporting my family. And then just one day, when on a Sunday morning in Bridgewater, I swerved off the road delivering my home newspapers on a Sunday morning, and I hit a telephone pole. And because I lost my vehicle and my job and my money and my finances and stuff, all was a rippling effect became to the point of where we lost everything we ever owned in our storage. We didn't have money to pay for all that. I was in a situation where I was going to have heart surgery, and they were going to replace a defibrillator in my heart, which runs by a battery. And I was staying at another shelter in New Bedford, and I told them about my situation, that I was going to have surgery on a Monday morning, and they said I wouldn't be able to come back because they don't have the adequate nurses and stuff to take care of me. So I was stuck in that dilemma where I didn't know what to do on that Sunday. So when we had to leave in the morning, I had gone for breakfast at one of these churches, and as I was walking out, I saw another church with the door open, and something drew me in, and it was the Unitarian Church down in New Bedford. Never been to that church, and I went in, and they had this thing where you light your candle and you talk about your story and your life, and I told them I was in a situation of homelessness where I was going to have surgery. I didn't know where to go, who to go to, what to do, who to call. And after the church services, I sat down and had coffee, and a man came over to me with a couple of people and said, "Hey, I can help you." And I was like, skeptical, as anybody would be. I mean, I grew up in Dorchester. I'm not going to listen to somebody say, "Hey, I can help you," all of a sudden. So I just like, okay. And he said who he was, and I was like, okay. And I listened to what he said, and he heard my part of my story. And he says, "I can help you get on your feet and help you eliminate that process of homelessness." And I was skeptical, and he told me about what the House of Hope was and what it represents. It sounded good. And I knew I was going to be on the street that day, so I didn't have no place to go. So he took me to the House of Hope and showed me around and told me what it was like there and what they offer. And I was like, wow, I'm shocked. But like I said, a stranger, and he's a reverend, and I was like, why are you doing this? And
this was Robert Hughes.
Robert Hughes. And he was just shocking to me. So the next morning, which is on Monday morning, he took me to the hospital. I went there, and they had my procedure done, got the defibrillator and all that stuff, and I had no place to go. He brought me back to the House of Hope. I had no idea who I was with or where I was, but I was there, and I had the stitches and stuff, and one of the people there was a volunteer, Trish, who took care of me and helped me and fed me and medication and got me up on my feet and gave me the power and strength to succeed. And I just went from there, where I went to Reverend Robert Hughes, and he talked to me told me that there's a solution, a reason why we're here. And I said, what was that? And he said, God told me to help you. And I looked at him, and I was skeptical. I kind of like laughed, and I was like, well, I'm not a non-believer, but I just don't see where you can just tell me words unless you can prove it. And he did. He took me in that day, and I came back from the hospital, and they took care of me for almost a month or so, and Trish was doing everything. And it went going to meetings and talking to therapists and talking to other people, and it just changed my life. My life just miraculously changed in a good way, where my higher power has taken over.
Now you're volunteering there still today?
Still today, for almost 4 years later, and I'm blessed. I feel that I can reach my hands out to people and who don't know me, and I don't know them, and be able to offer them something that Reverend Robert Hughes is able to do, which is help them, get them in a program, get them the assistances that they need for housing. It could be welfare, food stamps, cash benefits, anything that they might need. They could be disabled, need SSI, and I help them along with that. And so does Reverend Robert Hughes. And it makes me feel good knowing that my outcome has changed the lives of others in the same way how Bob has helped me, that I can help others. And I've seen some real big improvements.
We'll talk about some of that as well. Trish, how about yourself? I understand you were going through a very tough time 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago, I was to the point of committing suicide, and I was drinking. I lost my children, and I went into this. I went into this program, and something told me to just keep on going. And I came to the House of Hope, and my life started changing right when I got there. It was like I just found something new for myself, you know. I'd go to meetings. I volunteer there. I'm the chef there. I cook for everyone there, and that's what I like to do, and that's my background. So I cook there. I help the other clients there, and my life has changed so much since I've been there. And I only volunteer. I don't need, don't need all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And I get satisfaction in helping somebody else now, because somebody helped me, I can help someone else.
House of Hope bills itself as a structured, supportive transitional housing program, providing a whole bunch of services here: individual substance abuse counseling, group substance abuse counseling, case management, relapse prevention group, early recovery group, 12-step class, not meant to replace AA or NA, but clearly something that can keep you going, keep the message going, meeting spaces, 24-hour volunteer support staff. This is amazing in that this organization relies a lot on volunteers. That's what surprises me kind of the most. There's only one paid staff member, and I'm not sure if he's paid, but Reverend Hughes is the guy. His wife is the assistant director, Catherine Hughes, a retired RN, and that's kind of it in terms of staff.
Yeah, our thing is that the people that come there are looking for help and trying to find answers to a solution to a better life. And their life is saying, and then when they reach out, they want to get those answers. So we try to do whatever it takes. And for example, if someone came to me and said, hey, I'm suffering from substance abuse, can you help me? What can you do? And I'll give them that opening of saying, we can help you get through a detox if that's necessary, get them into that program. And then if they need a better living situation, coming to us and helping them get into that program of AA or NA, getting them to understand what they can do and how they can change their life completely, is to say, hey, there are doors and opening. There are people in our own community with the churches and other people or volunteers who come by who say, with one of the doctors that come by on dream therapy, and his thing on Thursdays that he does is, it's amazing. He takes his time and comes here for an hour and a half, and he's changed people's lives because they listen to him, what he has to say, and give them, the person, information that they never knew before. And that's what I try to do, give them information that they do not have the answers for.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm your host, Jim Phillips. My guests are two residents of the House of Hope in New Bedford, Donald and Trish. Let's get some of the items out of the way that people may have questions about. Funding for this program. All donations.
All donations throughout our community and around our areas that people do continuously every day, throughout all the holidays and every day of the year. That we have people all the time bringing food. We have donations that constantly come through from mobile ministries with George Bailey over at St. Paul's Cathedral. We got Paw Ministries, comes by recently all the time and doing the same thing. So we have people in our area, even with the Stop and Shop, giving us donations every day that we pick up. And that's a blessing too, because that little bit of food or anywhere that we get helps everyone that's in that house and helps them get by every day.
And you sell Christmas trees.
We sold Christmas trees that we do every year. I've been out there every day in the cold, snow, it didn't matter. I was out there doing my volunteer work, yes.
So there's no government money at all.
There isn't.
No grants, nothing like that, all right? And folks who live there are required to do some, I'm sure, work inside the house, but also do some community service work as well. Is that right?
We have a thing that we make sure that people do at least 4 hours a week of community service as part of our program. But what happens is that 4 hours is not enough, and people are out there doing sometimes 40 hours a week. Once they get started and they realize that how much that they can help themselves, they're helping others, that look in their face, that eye, the twinkle, the smile, it's amazing to see that. For example, we had a lady who was going to have surgery on her shoulder and her arm, came by the house and looking for somebody, and one of the clients went with her, spent the day with her, helped to clean her house and did her laundry and everything as community service. She spent almost 8 hours there, came back, lit up like a light bulb, and was so excited and happy that she was able to help one person get something accomplished that they couldn't do themselves. And that person every day continuously goes to church and continuously volunteering. And she's happy because that's what she likes doing.
And Trish, you reach out to the homeless as well, I understand.
Yes. Yep.
Every day?
Yes, every day.
Tell us about that.
Well, I talk to the people in the house. I go to, when I go and get the donations at Stop and Shop, I take some of the donations, come to our house, and then the stuff that we can't use goes to Salvation Army or other houses that are around New Bedford.
But I understand there's a group that visits when a lot of folks, and there's still probably homeless folks out in the weather today, but you go and visit them where they are.
Yes.
Whether it's under a bridge, whether it's in the woods.
We have a small task force that we try to get together with in the community. What Bob has been doing too is we go out to areas they call Tent City. They're hitting out in the track areas, they're hitting out in the woods, some places that are under bridges or wherever. And we try to find as many as we can out there that need us. No, we don't force them. We come out and give them sandwiches and clothes, anything. We tell them who we are. We hand them our card. If you would like to leave this area and get a better, come see us. Just come by and look at our house. Come by and have a hot meal. You need a shower. We had one gentleman that just left his tent city, came to our house, got him some clothes, got a shower, had something to eat, and then went back. That was his decision. We didn't force him. We said, if you want to come back, that door is open 24 hours a day. So anyone that's out there says, hey, I need to get out of the rain, come by. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to help and serve. And my whole goal is my God. My higher power tells me every day, I'm blessed that I wake up every morning knowing that my heart's still ticking. And I feel that I can just reach out to somebody. If it's one person a day or two people, I'm just doing what I feel that is being blessed, that I can help. And that's my goal.
How many residents do you currently have, Trish? What's the count?
Around 45.
45?
Yeah, around there. For me, I have to round it off because I cook for everyone and I cook for the volunteers too. So I round it off to like 45 people. Sometimes there's a couple people more, people that come in for the meetings. I give them food, visitors.
Yeah, so there's a transient, I don't mean that in that way, but I mean there's people who come in and out. People who may not stay there.
Right. Yeah. We have that policy just so that they can feel, if they feel that they want to stay, we give them the opportunity to. We don't want to force anybody to do something that they don't want to do. Because if they're afraid of being around other people, which sometimes people have a psychological problem about being in an environment with 40 or so people, and they don't feel comfortable, so we try to let them make it that choice on their own. And hopefully they'll be able to get some type of a phone number or some information that they can, like I say, try to improve what the lifestyle that they're in at that time.
Is it possible for someone to work and still live in the House of Hope?
Yes, they do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what's an average day like? We don't have a great deal of time left, but what's an average day like
Well,
for someone who's living in the House of Hope?
I'll give you a quick rundown. Is that when we have wake-up call in the morning, we have a group called Goals and Gratitude, what your goal is for the day, and everyone says that, and what they're grateful for. And they go around the room and they do that, and then once that happens, we have the small little, lots of times we have breakfast stuff because we get donations. So we try to supply them with if they want a bagel or toast. Some people are picky, but hey, it's okay. We started off and we have the noontime meeting, and dinner time is around that 5 o'clock area. So we try to make everyone feel comfortable at all times during the day. And like I said, we have visitors constantly. We have a lot of volunteers that come through and help us out with anything. I mean, the holidays was great. We had so many people. We are so grateful that they came by and helped us and fed a lot of people and made everybody happy.
Where can people learn more, and how can they make donations?
Just either calling us or going on our website. Come by. We're open 24 hours, so we'll be there for you any time. Just the House of Hope at AFM House of Hope gmail.com. Send an email if they want to come to us. It's simple. It's not as difficult.
And you can mail a donation to
Yep.
House of Hope, 848 Mount Pleasant Street, New Bedford. Let me see if I can find the zip here.
02745.
There it is, 02745. So,
Yeah.
really, thank you both, Donald and Trish, for
Thank
coming
you.
in. It's not easy to talk about this stuff. I get it. I understand. And but you are making a difference for a lot of people. 45 people throughout the day come in there. Some live there. Some come in. That's a lot of folks. You are one of many agencies doing special work in New Bedford. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us be here today.
All right.
Thank you.
That's it for Townsquare Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks also to production director Jason Kent and digital editor Casey Sylvia for their help in getting this program on the air and on the web. I'm Jim Phillips. Until next week, have a great week and a wonderful Sunday.